everybody, I hope you are having a fantastic day. If you are new here, my name is Melissa and I am a second grade teacher in Michigan. So before we get into the classroom setup part of this video, I just kind of wanted to sit down with you guys and have a little life chat and talk about my district's plans for the fall and just kind of how I'm feeling, and that way some of the stuff I'm doing in my classroom might make a little more sense. So if you are not interested in hearing about this part of the video, that is totally fine. Go ahead and skip to the classroom setup. So in Michigan, we are currently in stage 4, meaning we don't have a ton of new cases of COVID and all of that happening every day. But if we are to go back to stage 3, that would mean that schools will not be able to be open in person. So right now we're in stage 4, and for my district, what they have decided is that we are doing full-time, 5 days a week, face-to-face instruction. Now, families were also given the choice to choose 100% virtual instruction, and that is kind of going to be through a different program that is not provided by my district. However, there will be teachers in my district who are checking in with those students and answering questions and making sure they are doing assignments and that they understand what they should be doing, and basically just that they're doing all right. For me right now, my plan, which keep in mind all of this could change, I feel like I forgot to include this little tidbit in there, but I feel like part of the reason that things are still so subject to change, or like at least I say they are, is just because we still have 2 weeks of summer at this point. So anything really can happen in 2 weeks, as we've seen over these past months. So that's just kind of why I say that, just a little backstory on why I'm like so hesitant to say that like things are finalized. Is to be teaching second grade in my building face-to-face starting September 1st. So there are going to be additional measures put in place for sanitization and just like the schedule of our school day. Students will be moving more strategically throughout the building so that we don't have them crossing paths with more people than necessary. We don't want to overcrowd the hallways, the cafeteria. Different grade levels will be kind of traveling in a group. So my second grade class and the other second grade class in my building will be eating lunch and having recess and that stuff together. But they usually would overlap with the rest of the school, basically. It's going to be different for sure. There's going to be a lot going on. Sanitization is going to be happening throughout the school day. We are hiring additional custodial staff for that. Instead of the kids going to the music room or to the art room, there's actually going to be specials in my classroom. So the specialist teachers will likely be having like a cart or something that they will bring down to our classrooms and that they will teach our kids. So that's normally our planning time. So planning is gonna look a little bit different because I won't be able to be in my classroom. There will be another designated area of the building for us to kind of go plan and have a quiet workspace during that time. But yeah, I really appreciate all of the administrators who put in so many hours to develop those really specific plans and to answer all of our questions. I know that there was a document the other day where my principal said, hey, if you have any questions, let me know. And I ended up sending like 11 questions. He asked me if I wanted to sit down and talk to him about those concerns, and it was just really nice to have that conversation and get some of that answered. So I'm really thankful for being listened to and having time to have my questions answered and working together with people around me and knowing that I'm not going to be alone. It's definitely a lot to think about going back to school. There's a lot that we don't know yet. There's a lot that's, I'm sure, going to change once we get into the swing of things. And I think that it's okay to feel uncertain, and it's okay to be nervous, and it's okay to be excited, and it's okay to be sad or happy. Like, just like we tell our kids, it's okay to feel all those feelings, and those are valid feelings and valid concerns. But one thing that I really have appreciated, like I said, is the support from everyone around me and not feeling like I'm alone in this, because out of all the feelings that I have felt, I have not felt alone, which I'm very grateful for. And also just that being in my classroom has brought me this like happiness. Like it is a place that I love to be, and like it just felt so homey and happy again, and I just hope that it continues to feel that way and feel like, I don't know, it just felt really good to be back in there. So I've really enjoyed setting up my room these past few days, and even though I know things are subject to change, I'm probably gonna be redoing some stuff at some point. Like it just feels good to be there and to prep for teaching. Like no matter what teaching looks like, it feels good to have some sort of normalcy of I can go into my room and I can set up and I can look at my colorful walls and I can look at all my math vocab and I can feel some sort of normalcy. So I have really enjoyed going to my room. So if you'd like to see day 2 of classroom setup, that is coming right now. Hey everybody, so I am on my way to my classroom for day 2 of classroom setup. It is currently Thursday, August 13th at about 2 o'clock. I just have a few hours to go work in there because at like 5 or 6 I'm hanging out with a friend. So I figured I'd take you guys along. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do in there yet today, but there's always work to be done. So let's go. So I am actually in my back storage room right now, which is where I'm going to start out today. I have about half of it that you can see in the background. There's some bookshelves off to this side and some more storage shelves over there, as you can kind of see. And then there's actually half of the room going this way. I'll kind of show you guys a little bit. So that is my teaching partner's side, and we're not like super specific on like sides and like what goes where, like we just share the room. But when we had our closure and it was very sudden, they obviously came back here and like sanitized everything. So the custodial staff tried to put everything back like as best as they could, but I realized I have some of his stuff like on my like total side. So I'm going to move those back over to his side and then just start to like organize my stuff. Next on my list is, if you can see those cardboard boxes over here, we had some construction in my school last summer, so we couldn't get into the school and we had to take everything out. And so I put a ton of different like masters and extra copies of things in there. And so I need to go through and like organize it, but also recycle, because I know there are some things in there that I don't need anymore. And I like, this is bad, you guys, but like clearly last summer is when I put those boxes there. Haven't gone through them since. So that's my next mission. I've been putting it off for like a year, but it is happening right now. Going through that entire box, there's still some things in there that I need to sort through, but I ended up finding a ton of centers and stuff like that, so this definitely wasn't stuff from my teacher desk. I honestly forgot I had a lot of this stuff, which luckily I didn't reprint it or anything. Like, it's all good to go. We just didn't get to some of that stuff this year, so I forgot about it. But anyways, I'm glad that I found it now. I ended up finding a laminated version of my Bitmoji that is gonna have to hang up somewhere, some other laminating to cut out, and also like stuff that needs to be laminated. So I don't know where this stuff was, but I'm glad that I, you know, unearthed it now. And yeah, I'm gonna go through now and put away all these folders and just kind of tuck them away for now. And then later I'm gonna go sort them and make sure that I have like all the social studies folders with the rest of them and all the math unit stuff with the rest of them. And I just don't feel like doing that right at this moment. So I just realized my little orange poof must have like fallen from the ceiling, which is very weird because it lasted like a year and a half, and then I come in one time this week and then it fell over. So now I'm gonna have to step up on the table at some point and hang it up, but I'm not really feeling that risky right now, so it's just gonna stay. So the next thing I'm going to work on is actually going to be changing around my stem cart. So the way I've had this set up is that these drawers all have different little bins inside with different materials. But I will say, like, this cart is kind of on its way out. It is kind of old, and so for the kids to open and shut the drawers, it's not very sturdy, and it also takes up a lot of space in my storage. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to steal Kim's idea, which I'll put a little picture of it right here to show you what I'm talking about. But she used the Michaels photo bins to make her little stem kits, and so each one of them has a different material. So I'm gonna spend time switching some of this stuff over and then start making those stem bins, and then at some point I will Cricut them and then put labels on them like she did, because I think hers turned out really cute. So I am definitely using hers for inspiration. So I am all set with those, and they are complete for now. I do have some more stem materials, I think, at home that are actually coming from my classroom wish list. So these might change up a bit, or I might end up making another container depending on what I have. I might end up taking out some of the Legos or something like that. If you guys want me to explain more of what I do put in here, let me know. I will show you that I made these little cards that I have split up into different little binder clips, and they are just different ideas for inspiration, or if you wanted to do a challenge with them. So I just made those that I will put out when we use these. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to use these a lot this year. I think you guys all can figure out why, but I will let you know if we do end up using them and how I end up doing that in a very safe and clean way. I think they're gonna be really fun, so I'm excited about them. Thank you, Kim, for a really good idea on how to store them. So when we left for the spring and summer, I tried to put away as many books as I could, but my students' book boxes were all full, so I started with those. So I think I am going to work on the class book return right now and see how far I can get on that. I also need to print out a new label because this is sad, but that's okay. So I'll have to do that eventually, but right now I am going to work on returning all of these to the right places in my library. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to clean off these shape posters. So when I teach the kids shapes, it's not in the first unit. So what we are going to do is just wipe off the expo marker on them. I like to have a fresh start and have them empty so that way I can fill out that information like with the kids as they prompt me. So I'm going to wipe them off, and then I don't think I'm going to store them yet because I might hang them up on the wall just to get us started. That way they're used to seeing the shapes around the classroom even if they don't have all of the specific information written inside. They are all clean now, so like I said, I'm gonna just tuck them away and then possibly hang them up. When I do hang them up, I usually put them like up there in my room above my math talk and my math word wall. So we'll see if they end up there. Otherwise, maybe I'll find a different spot for them. But yeah, those are all done. Also, as I'm sitting here, you guys, I'm so sad because normally my mom comes in here and does like all those kinds of little jobs, like wiping stuff off or like laying out the name tags and cutting the contact paper and all of that kind of stuff. And this year, we don't have any visitors or volunteers allowed, which I completely understand, but I just love spending time with my mom and she's so helpful, and so I really miss her while I'm setting up my classroom. And I never took it for granted before by any means, but I just wish she could come in because it's so fun to have her here. We always like get lunch, make an afternoon of it, and I know she would like to help because she thinks it's a lot of fun too. So I do miss my mom. All right, you guys, it is about 6 o'clock now, so I am going to call it a day. I feel like I didn't get that much done today, but again, I started to do more of the tedious stuff, which always takes longer, and so it doesn't make me feel nearly as accomplished as when I did my fun projects the other day, but it needs to be done, so at least I came in and got some of it started. So I'm gonna pan you guys around the room and show you a few things I'm thinking of working on soon and just kind of where my room is at right now. So this is what we've got going on. Got some books on the table. My little puff obviously fell down. This has been like my workspace, so it's kind of like the messiest area right now. I still have all those books out that I sorted from the last setup video. And then, yeah, everything else is pretty put together. Although I will say, my stage right there, the quote peeled, so that's one thing I want to get done, is make another U so that I can put that on there. Luckily I have a Cricut, so that won't be a problem. What else? I need to figure out where I'm gonna store or put these scoop rockers. I'm thinking this year we can't have cloth flexible seating, so my futon is honestly beat anyways. Like, it is not comfortable. You can kind of even see it sinking in. So I might put the scoop rockers over here. Otherwise, I might just like store them in a bin and have them pulled out when necessary. I do need to figure out what I'm going to do on this bulletin board. So normally we have my book buddies and my wow work, and I need to figure out what should go here. So if you guys have any ideas, let me know, because I'm just not sure what I should put there. So we'll see. I could do like a writing wall. Like, I do have writing process posters, so that could be something, but I don't know. I'm just not sure. So if you have any ideas, let me know. But yeah, there's one little last pan around, and I think I'm going to head out for the night. All right, you guys, so that is it for classroom setup day 2. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed seeing my little projects, even though they weren't the most exciting. But if you would like to see more of my classroom setup, go ahead and subscribe, so that way you can make sure you don't miss the next couple uploads where I will continue getting this room ready for some kiddos. If you do not already follow me on Instagram, the link is in my bio, as well as my Teachers by Teachers, Amazon storefront, classroom wishlist, and anything else that is relevant to this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon.